What is up, buds? Welcome to Weed&d, the pot-positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClenahan, but you can call me Bam, because people are doing it, and it's easier to say 3 letters than it is 21 letters. I know how many letters are in my name. Anyway, thanks so much for being here with us, guys. These past couple weeks have just been amazing. For those of you not catching the show live here on Twitch, our Twitch chat has been popping recently, man. All kinds of new people saying all kinds of wonderful things about the show. We just want you guys to know, all our new buds, old buds alike, we freaking love you guys. All that stuff makes it to us, and it just, like, especially right now, let me just say, I personally really need it. And your messages, your shares, likes, comments, all that stuff. Seriously, if you're ever just like, I want to make somebody happy, just go do one of those things, and I guarantee you, miles away, you'll just hear me be like, yay, over the hills. So thank you guys so much just for taking the time to be here, and anybody who goes the extra step and just helps us by sharing our material, and go into YouTube/ArtHard Studios, where we have all our old sessions, or right here on Twitch every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific. Follow us here. One kind of cool excitement on our side. I've gotten quite a few requests from some buds that just found us and want to kind of catch up on our old material, but don't have the time to watch it on YouTube. I did want you guys to know we will be pulling the audio from our first 20 sessions and releasing a small podcast version of the show. So for all you guys that want to listen to this on your car rides or whatever, frickin' we're here for you. So keep an eye out for that. It's a little project in the making. It takes a little bit to make it sound nice, which is what we want it to be. But just keep your eyes out. That's a pretty cool, exciting new thing that's coming from us. So that is enough of my dumb voice. Let's check in with our boy Isaac. Isaac, how you doing today?
Can we bring Gus back?
He wants to know if we can bring... Look, Gus gave Isaac a treat when I wasn't looking.
I got 2 blunts and he filled my water dish.
2 blunts and a filled water dish, because that's just the kind of guy that Gus Langley is. Gus, we miss you. He's back at home now. And most importantly, we missed it. Gus, a belated happy birthday from Weed&d. Mwah!
Nope, it's not water. You heated it.
Happy birthday, Gus. 2 blunts, Langley. Mwah. We love you, dog. All right, guys, so shoot, let's bring in my favorite people in the whole world, the wonderful cast of WeeDnD. I'm going to take this little joint here, pass it through the internet, and it will transmogrify into the shape of whatever Brenna happens to have with her right now. But Brenna, how you doing?
Hi, nice. Thanks, fam. It is Brenna Reagan Folger here. That is 27 letters. Bing, bang, boom. I counted, and I tried real hard. I counted at least 3 times. At least 3. So if I'm wrong, you know what? Give it up to the fact that I'm a theater kid. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm here. I've vanquished a dragon and a wormling and a face fighter for coming after my boy Brian, our boy Brian. So let's see what the hell else I'm gonna vanquish, and what me and the 5 are gonna vanquish today. What are we gonna vanquish today, Abadiah?
Well, I know for sure I'm gonna vanquish this joint. Abby Dandy, that's 9 letters, but 10 of Smooth Hands is considerably more letters than that, but that's not what's on my mind today. We got a whole bunch more. Tell me about it, Drewby. Tell me about it. Passing it on to you.
Wah! Thank you, baby. The baby of the group. Ain't she pretty? So cute, so precious, and bringing so much to the fucking table. I'm actually really excited to see what she can do in this next situation, because Papa got his ass whooped in the last session, y'all. He gonna need some help. And the way that I call upon help is from my friends. And my best friend, come on back at me, best friend, I need some help. Papa got the fuck kicked out of him. Like you got 2 tickets to Fucktown. You holler at me, boy? Come on.
Oh, help. Best friend needs somebody. Oh, well, I'm right there for you, bud. Jake Taylor is Riel Authorvon, and I don't want to count the letters in my name, but I want to introduce you to a new piece to the show, if you can see him. He's a little zombie pot. His name is... Let's smoke him. Here you go, guys.
Jake, wait. You froze right when you went to say its name. You're like, its name is...
Damn it!
So what's its name? I have to know.
The name got cut off.
Yeah, the name got cut off.
Okay, so he's a spooky little zombie pipe, and his name is Scorch A. Romero.
Scorch A.
Did that one
Romero.
freeze?
Well, hi,
Okay,
Scorch.
that
My
one-
name's Beelzebong.
Oh, nice to meet you, Beelzebub. Anywho, Gus, don't freeze.
Whoa! What's up, gang? Guns Langley, and I'll be playing Divot. That name is 2 blunts long, so grab the bong. Let's go, back to BAM.
Oh, the magic joint hath returned. Well, guys, we got a little ritual we like to start our shows off with around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't. But either way, why don't you take yourself one of these lighters? I got a little pickle on mine tonight. Hold that bad boy up, and we all gonna go lighters up. Let's play some fucking D&D.
WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD.
Oh. All right, guys. Please allow me to set the mood. I can't even do it with a straight face anymore. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they had left the villagers of Esmerelda under the watchful eye of Sumner Milton, their ally and major domo to the Fellsworn King. After another spectacle created by the magics of Divot, the five headed toward the Dryad's Kolt to return the Fey-Touched child Esmerelda from whence she had been discovered. As they wound through the twisting roads at the base of the Malachite Mountains, they were confronted by a great robed figure which stood directly in their path. Around his neck, the same crimson scarab that had adorned both Achias the Great Druid and the corpse of Illifarn, a former member of the same Druid circle of great Druids. The robed man with blue and white skin issued an ominous warning that the heroes of the Shekinda prophecy were arriving far too soon to the sanctuary of Tricilia, and told them to turn back. When they failed to do so, the figure called forth strange beasts and natural magics upon the five and escaped, turning into a great giant eagle and flying toward the peaks of the Malachite Mountains. From the magic energy, a massive earth elemental has been summoned, its stone eyes now fixed with rage upon our heroes. All right, guys, we jump back in. You're standing on the stone and grass roadway, the twisting road that has led you from the city of Esmerelda through the mountain twisting paths at the base of the Malachite Mountains. After riding for what felt like a couple hours, you guys finally managed to come across this great robed figure who threw this massive magical wave of entanglement, all these natural grasping roots and vines, right at the base of your carriage, as well as summoning several of these phase spiders, which appeared to blink into reality. You know, as you kind of look around you right now, you see the soft, mountain road. Otherwise, what would be a lovely afternoon day in the forest in the mountains, except for the air is not moving. It smells of the thick vegetation that grows all around you. Some trees stand with autumn and winter hues, standing out of place like an anachronism in this forest, for some reason called to their color far before their time. But right now, none of that concerns you. As you look forward at the swirling green maelstrom of magical energy summoned forth by the robed figure before he flew away, and at the center of which is this giant 12-foot tall being of pure elemental earth. You see rocks and vines and undulating grass just vining its way all around. You see at the very top of its head, it almost looks like a volcano. There's a big thick ridge and like a hole that gaps into the top of it. It has these stone eyes that appear furious with rage, even though they don't appear to like move or shift. They're just stones locked into place, staring you, Thoricus, directly in the eyes. You see as the smoke of green magic starts forming back into the undulating vines of magic that had been summoned forth, and now it's half green vapor, half this field of entanglement that just swings and grows all around this great massive beast. He reaches into the ground and pulls a giant stone from the earth and levies it at you, Thoricus, throwing it forward. Oh, you rolled a 3. Great. So, yes, getting an 8 armor class. Thoricus, you're still mid-spin after having, kind of gone into your cyclone of doom. And you're still kind of moving around with your axe as this big giant stone hurtles at you. And with just a sheer display of strength, you bring the axe handle and slice through the rock in the middle of the air. The stone reaver, reaving stone, not the first time, but the way you've practiced, the way that the blade was struck by your people in the military, that you used to be a part of. And you reave directly through the stone, each half falling harmlessly at the sides of Rial and Brunor. This big boulder just kind of slides to a stop. You see some of the mud and grass kind of get pushed up. It's a big, heavy rock. You can tell this thing is very, very strong. And it's to end his turn, he's going to use, he has a bit of a fancy breath weapon, and so he's going to, you see all these like roots and grass and vines start growing up his body, and all the energy, this like nature that even seems to be pulling from the surrounding trees and ground, kind of starts drawing into this big like volcano tip in his head. And he draws down, you see his feet sink in the earth about 6 inches. And with a great, you see a bunch of these massive spores fly over towards you guys. And we're gonna roll for him.
Yeesh,
Boom, ooh, rolled hot, got 4. All right, so you see 4 of these little spores. Divot 1 lands right next to you on the top of the carriage. You see these spores that kind of look like those big puffy balls, that you blow on and make a wish out of. I'm sure there's a name for them, I'm forgetting. Yeah, dandelions. There we go. Isaac got us. You might get a treat for that one. All right, I'm lying. He's not going to get any treats. All right. All right, so yeah, you see these spores. They're kind of flying through the air. At first, they fly forth kind of like mucus, and then they stop and kind of fall with that natural soft slow of a leaf falling off a tree. Right when they hit the ground, you see Divot, you on the top of the cart, you see that the wood starts shaking, and as the wood kind of splinters and breaks, this little small, tiny version of this giant creature is formed out of the roof of your carriage. You see it stands, it's only about 2 feet tall, but it's got arms and legs, and its whole body is made out of wood. You see it stand up, you're pretty short yourself, but this guy, barely comes up to like your midsection. You see this little wooden elemental kind of looking up at you. He looks a little bit like Groot, and he's just kind of like, and he starts swinging at you. Rial, the same with you as you see, in fact, all 3 of you that are on the ground, you see as the spores puff on the ground, all the earth and growth and vines and mud kind of start turning into these little tiny earth elementals, these little like 2 foot tall elementals that pop up all around you guys. And so, yeah, you see there's 4 of them. I hope you guys can kind of see them here on the map. But they're just little guys. They're very, very small elementals. You see he seems to be able to summon these somehow. But that is going to be the end of his turn. And rather than pile on, he's going to be a little wiser and pass it to Divot. You're up.
Okay. I know that typically you're not allowed to cast a spell and a cantrip at the same time, but there is an exception if that spell is a cantrip that is just... Am I wrong about that?
I believe you're thinking about a bonus action spell. You can only cast if you cast a bonus action spell. The only other spell you can cast that round is a cantrip. Right. So beyond that, no. If a cantrip typically has an action casting time, so it would be your action to cast the cantrip.
Okay, but I could use a bonus action to hex somebody and then use a cantrip.
Yes, as long as it's a cantrip, exactly. Yes, you can put your hex on something, which will give you extra damage on it, and then yeah, you can go from there.
Okay. Well, I definitely I want to hex this little guy that's next to me.
Okay.
Damn.
All right, so you kind of look down. We actually haven't seen your hex yet. So if you want to describe what it kind of looks like, you're basically cursing this little creature. But yeah, you see, he kind of looks up at you. He's got like little sharp, it's almost like a pumpkin's mouth, just jagged triangle teeth. And it's actually taken a little like hole out of the roof of your carriage. Like he's made out of the wood that was the roof of your carriage. And he's just standing there, with clear malice in his eyes. But yeah, there you go. So you go ahead and curse him. Any cool, what does your hex look like, Divot? This is a new ability.
Yeah, all right. So I stand up when I see this guy, and I look super cool because I've got my like dark dragon. For some reason, it's a slightly darker part of the dragon skin, but it's a dragon skin sleeveless duster, and I'm like looking all sick. And I peel back my like questionable origin dragon skin arm and reveal my skeleton hand, and I start like mumbling and laughing to myself a little bit while I act like I'm holding a puppet string over the guy, and that's how it happens.
Nice.
So
You
I
see,
can't help but roll my eyes. I'm on the horse. I see Divot doing this, and I see him really leaning in to death and the whole aesthetic, the whole death aesthetic, and I can't help but roll my eyes in the moment.
Tina, go ahead and give me a rolling eyes check. Let's see how savage that eye roll is. Like, is it just like one of these? Like, it's like a little, or is it like a?
No, it's like a big one. I
mean,
help
we'll let the dice decide.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to roll a d20?
Just a d20, please.
Let the dice decide.
Nice. Okay, so a crit. Crit. There we go. So Tina, you actually hear the eye roll echoing through the trees. It's so intense. You're like, and this savage eye roll. Even the horses are like, damn, girl, after you drop this just savage eye roll in the direction of your brother. Divot, as you hold your skeleton hand out and kind of start laughing, you see the strings drop down from your fingertips. You see these magical little like dark purple and black strings drop down from your fingertips. And for a moment, they actually wrap around the arms of this little wooden guy, and you see you lift him up. And then they disappear. But yes, your magical hex has set. There's no saving throw on it. You just do extra damage to it now whenever you hit it. So yeah,
right,
he's hexed.
While I've got that guy in the air like that, like right before the strings drop because now I'm casting Eldritch Blast instead.
Nice. So yeah, you see the strings draw back up from your fingertips, and they start forming this blast in your hand. You kind of laugh as you look down on this thing. Two beams, both at them. Again, like I said, just to clarify for you guys, Divot, we went over it, but this is 2 attacks here, 14, 16 AC, both hit for a total of, 17 damage, plus a d6 from your hex. So go ahead and add a d6 to that. Ooh, another 4, 21 damage.
Wow!
Oh yes, it would be another d6. I'm sorry, because it's 2 different beams. Each beam would get a hex. Let me just double check that I'm reading the spell right. Yes, that's correct.
Don't mind if I do.
Ooh, so 20. All right, so Divot, this combo of yours has worked with a charm. You hear the grinding eye roll of the pious Tina Smoothhands, Johnny come lately life cleric over here, giving you a hard time while you're doing some sweet magic. Unfortunately for her, the thing you're doing completely succeeds. That is far more than enough damage to destroy this thing. Please, Gus, tell me, what do you do?
Okay, so I look over at her while I'm like zapping this guy, and I see that she's like not impressed. And then I look over at the bigger guy, and while I'm not even looking at the guy who I've got, I'm looking at the bigger guy, but I and just like microwave him without even looking at him.
Nice. Yeah, your hand kind of hovering over the top of him, like a puppet master. And as you draw this huge energy beam into your hand, you just stare directly forward. The glowing flash of the intensity of the magic lights your face, like the flash of a camera, as it burns down and just incinerates this little creature. You see a bunch of little wood chips just blow away, like you just like detonated a bomb within a log, and it just blows away.
Like, I liked that carriage.
Yeah, you're looking down, and you can through the hole that you're kind of standing around. You look down and you're like, yeah, man, actually the stitching on the seats in this carriage is pretty nice. Like for a hoopty, the material, the seats are pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Original finish.
Original finish. All right, so yes, Divot, you have successfully just destroyed one of these little guys. Do you want to use a move or anything, or are you done?
I think I'll stay up on top.
I'm in. All right. All right. Oh, winter sighting. Oh, winter's here. Winter watch popcorn. All right, Divot. So who is up? You do have just so you know, the Earth Elemental is one creature. The small guys are another one. So they each have their own initiative. And the big guy's gone. The little guys have not.
Okay. Well, in that case,
and you can pass it to any of your allies, obviously.
Okay. Who is the? I see Rial and I see Thorkus and I see Brunor. Oh, okay. And then you're still on the horse, Tina.
Yeah.
She's still ending that savage eye roll right now. Just
Yeah,
wrapping
like
it up.
So I just loudly shout towards Rial, like I'm like, well, I guess I'm in the lead.
All right, so Rial, the focus shifts to you. You see sprouting before you. This one, unlike the little wooden one that Divot just destroyed, this one almost looks like a mint replica of the giant creature looming, a mere 25 feet away from you. You see the swirling roots that entangle the ground all around him in this strange green fog that blows around as it just kind of stands there. And it's massive. 12 feet tall. You can see like little small trees like growing out of its like wrists and elbows as it shifts its massive weight, almost like on all fours. But the ground kind of moves underneath it as part of it. It'd be hard for you to figure out where the road ended and where this creature began. So yeah, you look down. You've got a little one, kind of looking up at you. Stone around the mouth that kind of makes up the face of it, little eye holes but no eyes, looking up at you. What do you do?
Well, I want to try weird Rial things, but some new weird Rial things.
Yes. I love Rial shit.
Good old weird Rial shit. So this little guy, he's in front of me. God bless him. Hang on. I shrunk my character sheet earlier, and now I regret this. There we go. So I'm gonna say like I happened to hear like this other little duplicate that was up with Divot, like he got just annihilated, and I heard like little. So I find that super sad but super funny. So I see this other little guy in front of me. I want to cast my new spell, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, on the main Earth Elemental.
The big giant one?
The big boy.
All right, so Rial, make a nature check for me.
Nice.
And it's DC 15, which killed you all last week, so.
Fucking nature check. Never forget.
But yes, again, a cloister scholar as your background. You spent many years, even though trapped in a cell, you managed to read many books, so you might have a little knowledge on these things.
And overall, if it wasn't for Divot just like nuking this thing, I have such a respect for nature that the fact that this magically occurred, I'm pretty stunned. Like,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, you've heard. So just, a little D&D lore for you guys. Elementals are pure elemental energy, and they are summoned by magic from the plane of the element they represent. So there's like a plane of earth where everything is rock and mud, and it's like these are the creatures that inhabit that earth. Plane of fire is this plane of endless fire. There's a city of gold in it, coincidentally enough. But yeah, each of these planes, you know, when we talk about the Feywild and the Shadowfell, these are also other alternative planes. So this earth elemental, you know, not really a creature of this plane, although made up of one of the core elements, you know, that the world is made up of. So yeah, you don't do too good on your nature check. Actually, I was wrong anyway. The whole reason I had you do it, it does not have a condition immunity to laughter. And it has a 5 intelligence, which surprised the hell out of me again, because they come from another plane. They are not constructs. They are elemental, pure elemental energy. And man, you got me. They have a 5 intelligence, which the spell, you have to have a 4 intelligence to work. It does. So here we go. It gets to make a saving throw, a wisdom saving throw. It doesn't have a hot wisdom. What's the DC for me, my boy?
Oh, DC.
It doesn't matter because it got a 2. A 2. I don't know why I said it like that. A 2. Oh, guys, we got a 2. All right. I'm doing it like this tonight, man, like this. All right, so. I'm so sorry. What even was that? All right, woo, we're having fun. We're having a good time.
We're all the highest.
Everybody's having a good time tonight. Yeah, dude, I'm super. I smoked a whole joint before we started the show tonight, like a fool. Like a fool. I'm lighting another one. All right.
Yeah. Do it.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it. The higher I get, the more I just see this shit happening. So here we go. All right. In something I didn't think was possible, and look, even the DMs, we learn something new every day. So, Rial, any particular joke that you make to this creature to augment with your magic that makes it bend over in laughter? Do you have a nature themed joke?
In a sense, yeah, I do.
Let's hear it. You step forward, you see this little creature next to you. You kind of ignore it as you hear that it just got destroyed by divots. So you're like, my issue's with you, big boy. And you attempt to magically tell it a funny joke. What's the joke?
So, is everything still streaming okay? I don't want to freeze in the fucking joke.
Yes. Although I'm worried you just used your bandwidth to ask that question.
Oh, no. It's done. So, I step forward and I want to try and time it with the pop of the other little guy. I just want to point back and just.
Oh, is he frozen?
No.
No.
Fantastic.
I was like, that's the best freeze.
All right, Mr. 2 on his wisdom save. All right, so this massive giant construct summoned forth from a plane far away where their humor is very crude. You see this massive 12-foot form of earth and undulating vines and life and overgrowth as it looks as your friend just decimates this little tiny version of it that's made out of wood. He kind of shifts his eyes, his rage-filled eyes, over to Tina Smoothhands, who's about 6 o'clock through her rolling eye roll. And you see him just kind of quickly, you see his body start shaking a little bit, and he looks a little confused. And then he looks over at you, pointing back, pointing back at this little dude just get destroyed, while Divot, like a madman, plays with his fingertips. And you see the rustling leaves of a tree as the body of this giant, massive creature starts, I guess we'll call it laughing. You just see it's kind of and the earth, rather than being one giant form with 2 legs and 2 arms, it's kind of this rolling mass of earth that seems to just be laughing it up, just and so yes, Tasha's hideous laughter. Note to all you DMs out there, it works on earth elementals. I would have guessed no, but yes. Hey, I double checked. All right, so
It's them every time.
So it becomes incapacitated, and it cannot stand up during the duration of the spell. So Each time
How
it takes
long is that?
damage, it gets to make a saving throw, and it also gets a saving throw. Turn has advantage on the saving throw if it's triggered by damage. So at the end of its turn, so you at the very least have taken this guy out for a round, which is amazing. So awesome.
Oh
You ope somebody to it's just yeah. You see this. It looks as if the earth itself is laughing. You just see like as rocks and mud and grass just kind of like spill off of it like water on the side of a ship.
I guess you like that one. Must have been funny.
You oped him.
Do you like apples? I'm about to murder your family. How do you like them apples?
How about the rest of the
Whoa!
If there's anything the five can do, it's kill kids.
No.
We're all out of kids.
No, we're not. We have one.
There's two more.
Yeah.
Three.
We have
And a
very
child. Yeah, she's so
unremarkable.
unremarkable, I forgot about her too.
We forgot about her.
We gotta keep her.
Yeah, I didn't even describe her in the description because even I'm just like, I just see a blank spot when I turn the camera over to her. It's just like, wait, what? No, she's not there. I just see two shiny eyes.
What are you talking about?
All right. So Rial, you still have the rest of your turn. That was your action. Anything else you want to do? Bonus action, cutting action, move?
Yeah. At least a move into a cunning action. I want to scoop my little boot into these autumn trees,
Okay.
and I know I escape his actual attack range. But I intend to cunning action hide. But if he attacks me first, then I guess we'll tackle that.
Okay, so yes, if you're not going to use your cutting action to disengage and get the free movement past him, but you're intending to hide, at this point, no, yeah, if you actually got into the trees, you could hide. Yeah, there is stuff to hide there. They'll get advantage on their perception to see you. I just want you to know, because it's like they know. It's like you ran over there. They're not like, whoop, now he's gone forever. But they will. You'll still get a chance to hide and shoot from the cover. So if you want to let him take a little attack at you, he will.
Object permanence?
All right, so
I will respectfully take your advice. And yeah, I've never actually tried to disengage, so we'll try that first.
So if you want to use your cunning action to disengage, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was.
All right, so rogues, being a very trained rogue at this point, one of your great abilities, cunning action, you can use this extra action basically to do any number of things. One of them being disengage. What that allows you to do is move through the threat range and leave the threat range of this creature without drawing an attack of opportunity from it. So you kind of you're so good at again, your perception, your keen elvish senses, you kind of step your foot forward and it swings at your foot and then you pull your foot back and just casually walk around the side of it. You're so good at guessing what it's going to do next that you use your cunning action. You're you're rogue cunning, and you kind of, step by him, do a little half flip and roll over here into the trees. Now you won't be able to take the hide action because you used disengage.
Absolutely. No, that's perfect. Thank
He
you
froze
for
for a
recommending
second.
it.
He was playing an Esmeralda. I was like, all right, those stunning Alec Baldwin eyes. All right, Rial, yeah, so that would be the end of your turn. Who's up?
Watching me.
Cool. Thank you so much for the advice on that. I appreciate you, Bam. It's going to best friend Thoricus.
What?
You know what's up.
There's a little guy.
All right,
Yeah,
Thoricus.
that's me.
You kind of you see Rial kind of jump away to your left. You're looking around. You see the giant rolling mass of earth that's just covered in this green fog. Again, it's as if the earth itself was laughing. You hear grinding and weird clicking sounds that must be laughter in the elemental language. And then down by your feet, directly to the right of you, you see one of those little 2 foot tall, about a little less than half of your height. And you kind of look down at it and just this little chump. You feel the heft of your connected twin blades in your hand. What do you do?
Oh, I want to turn that thing to fucking coleslaw.
Yeah.
Fuck it up against.
Yeah.
All right, give it to me. Give it to me.
Start up the fucking salad shooter. Get that thing done. Oh man.
that the name of your dual blade now? The Sally?
No. Don't.
He said it.
Salad.
He said it. The bard, some bard overheard it in the bushes and runs away. I shall tell everyone of this name.
Kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I doing?
You tell me, bud.
Well, I'm gonna fucking wait. Did I have them both connected the last time?
No.
You get to do
did
it as a
this
free
separated.
action. We've said.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
right,
Yeah, because you
it's
split them
like-
in half. Yeah, so they're
it's
separate
finisher.
right now. Yeah.
But I can still put that right back.
Yeah,
lock
that's
it.
part of a thing we've done. We've given it's like because of your and Tanara's expert blacksmithing, you basically it's almost just like you picture it. They slide in together and then you lock them. You know, there's like a little latch that just kind of like clicks into place. And so you have a free in 5th edition. You have a free action, like you could pick up a new item, grab a potion, that kind of thing. You can use your free action. You know, it's not defined as a free action anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Rules explained. So you, but yes, you can. I have no problem with it. Just disconnect it freely at will. You know, if it, like I said, if it gets too broken, we'll adjust. But it doesn't bother me. It's mostly for flavor anyway.
Hell yeah, I love flavor.
Delicious.
Yummy. Delicious.
Cook it up.
Stir it up.
Oh,
I feel like you have the Bloodborne button. You just hit a trigger and like you got both.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna attack with that.
All right, so with Lucille, you did roll a 1.
Just
So if you want to
that.
re-roll your damage, you can. Remember, you still have great weapon fighting. So if you roll a 1 or a 2 on your damage dice, you can re-roll it. You have to keep whatever you roll the second time. But in this case, you rolled a 1. So if you want to re-roll a d10.
Just on the map.
Yeah, you can just do the little dice roller guy.
Yeah, I'll
All right,
take
so that's
that
way
one.
better. 5 plus, you have a 5 strength and 1 magic, so that would be 11 damage. Very nice. Actually, guess what, Thoricus? That's enough. What do you do?
That's it.
That's it. For now,
Good enough.
he said ominously.
Hashtag good enough.
Hey,
All right.
Now. What do you mean for now?
For nowsies.
I don't like the sound of that.
I want to put a little tiny check mark over him because he's so little.
Oh.
Wait, let's see it. Oh, there it is.
There.
Oh, hi,
Don't
nice.
distract us with cute things.
Yeah. I just want to lock the fucking the ladies of whatever
Yeah.
together. The axe lady thingies.
You bring him?
Like,
Yeah. We're still hunting for that name.
Yep, I can't. So many names. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just be like. I'm
If
gonna
you
turn
if you
full
cheer
off.
$10
And be like,
right now, I will. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Shit.
How much is her name worth?
All right, so yeah, your first you swung the first weapon with the dual blade. So it's you connected it.
Right, that's what I mean. It would be like, I'm gonna shred you to pieces, and then like, just hit it once, and like it just splits him. Like, oh, fuck!
Just too strong. Too
It
strong.
was so anticlimactic.
Squash.
I-
You hear the
Sorry-
laughter from the
sorry,
big
Mom.
giant earth mound grows even more. Click, click.
That was weird. Right?
Well, you have the entire rest of your turn. What are you doing?
Is it bad?
I can't like attack again though.
Yes, you
Right?
can. Yeah, you have 2 attacks.
Oh, so I don't have to hit first to be able to hit again?
No, you have 2 attacks, and then you can use your bonus action to get an extra attack.
That's so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, when you use the attack action, you attack twice because you're over a 5th level fighter, and then that bonus action, attack action that you have, that's from a combination of 2 different feats that you have. But yeah, you always get at least 2 attacks when you use
Sweet.
the attack action.
Fuck, I love that.
And you can move.
so-
You can attack, then move, then attack again. That's totally, there's no
That's-
penalty for that in 5e.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Boom.
So I didn't even have to move, so then I attacked that thing. Be like, oh, that was anticlimactic, and I'm gonna look over at Brenner and be like, okay, I go left, you go right, go get our Brian, and I'll go over that way, and yeah, bye. And
Okay.
yeah, so then I'm gonna go attack the one to the left there.
Get him.
I'm like, yes, good plan.
I want to move there.
Okay. Yeah, you never leave his threat range, so he's not going to attack you or anything. Plus, he already tried to. Oh, no, he didn't. Real disengage.
No.
But yeah, he doesn't try to attack you or anything if you move there. Go ahead. So yeah, you squash one. You know, it's almost like playing whack-a-mole. You just like splat one, look over at the other one, kind of nod to Brunor, walk over. Again, 18 AC, 9 damage. You did not roll a 1 or a 2. You rolled a 3. That is not enough. So, you know, after the first one just kind of exploded, you've underestimated the sheer might of these little guys just a little bit, and you turn around and kind of just splat the other one, but there's still a little bit left. You know, you cleave off one of its arms, but a little bit of earth just kind of grows back, and little vines kind of twist up the wrist. He's still alive. Do you want to do your bonus action attack?
I sure do.
Sweet. We did adjust the damage on this for anybody interested.
Wow.
It doesn't look like it because he just hit for 12. But yeah, so we have adjusted it. The damage from his bonus action strike with his dual blade feat is a D6, but I have allowed him to add strength and magical bonuses. So it's still pretty strong, but it's not like game-breakingly strong. So max damage on this attack, you just did it with a 20 armor class. You hit for 12 damage. So Thorkus, you splat one. You're still kind of getting used to the weight of the blade. So as you kind of walk over to this thing, you give it a couple good twists and shakes. You're kind of feeling it out, and then you step over, splat it again. It's not dead, but you got one more in the tank. What do you do?
I fucking break the tank that shit. Kidding. Yeah, so after I splat that one, I'm like, okay, Bruner, you go right, I go left. And we're like, yeah, do it. And then we spin around. I'm like, what? Shit. And like, he's like, bro, you cut my arm off. I'm like, yeah, I did. Wah-bah!
Splash.
Down, like that.
And just bring it down. So bringing it down, haymaker from, you bring it from downtown over the heft of your shoulder. You let the heavy side of the blade slide down in your hands. You're kind of almost, your hands are like right where the second blade is a little bit. And you just let it drop back like a hammer, grab the grip, bring it down, and split it in twain! You hear the laughter from inside the earth grows even louder as it continues to perceive you guys just splatting its children that it's fired at you. But yeah, it continues to find the joke funny and continues laughing on.
Killing kids.
We're a hit, guys. They love the killing kids thing.
We made
That
it.
was over huge
We
and
made it.
All right, Thorkus, you got anything else, or who's up?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I'm good. Well, maybe I'll move. I can still move a little bit, right?
Yeah, you've only moved 15 feet at this point. You have 25 feet of movement.
So I can go there, then there, and there. Yes, I'm going to try to go back and protect.
Oop, I'm sorry, you had 25 total. You only had 10 feet left. So you could go probably right there.
Here?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait, no, that's 5 feet. There you go, 10 feet.
Oh,
Or 10
oh,
feet.
okay.
There you go. That way you're kind of in between the girl and the beast.
That's kind of what I was gonna go back and protect the normie.
Perfect. Yeah, you look over and you see Esmerelda. She's actually just knelt down. She's still standing, but she's knelt down on the ground. And you see her just kind of like cold blue eyes and completely unremarkable face, just staring down at one of these weird sections of snake, or of spider, that didn't phase back. So it's just like this little slice through, like Bodies the Exhibit, slice, little section of this face spider. And she's just kind of like staring at it, not even paying attention to like all the chaos that's going on around you guys. But yeah, so you move yourself over there.
Out.
For her.
Who's up?
Can we shout out to chat from this shit? Because everyone keeps talking about that horse from the Cell movie that gets like super sected.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Lopez.
There you go.
That's
What up,
great.
Cell horse?
Sell horse.
Sell spiders.
Sell horse board.
Horse
Horse
board.
board. Horse board.
Horse board.
Horse board.
Old
Hell
school
yeah.
horse board shout out.
Hell yeah.
That's the OG WeeDnD fans.
Be sure to board all your horses, family.
Yo.
Don't.
Yo, family, are you boarding your horses?
Era. I'm from the era.
What
I
about
was-
my horses? They haven't boarded at all.
All right, Thorkus, who's up?
Let's see. Well, strategic.
Strategically.
Strategically. You see, I would absolutely have to choose Tina Smooth Hands.
Yeah.
Oh, Schmoothie herself. Tina
is.
Smooth
Oh,
Hands.
absolutely.
Smooth Hands.
So you've witnessed, what's going on. Tina, at this point, as the camera pans over to you, your eyes are just finishing your toss away eye roll. Ooh, yeah,
I was
that's a
hoping
good
to
one.
catch the end of that eye roll and be like, I'm hurting. Help.
Like, go, heal me. All right. Tina,
Totally
you
respect
are
the eye
up.
roll, but help me.
Okay, yes, indeed. I have a question about these horses, though.
Yes.
First, are they
They're
actively
radiant and they're beautiful.
Are they actively in danger from the entanglement?
So the entanglement that's under the carriage is gone. It is now floating around the mass of earth. So the horses are chill. You see they're a little spooked, but again, like Brunor is so good at animal handling. Again, a cavalier. That the way she managed to stop them, the way she held the reins before she finally went about slicing up spiders, the horses seem to be pretty chill. I mean, just the presence of this person so connected with animals has calmed them mostly. You see, they are still kind of like looking around, but the entanglement is gone. Well, it's not gone. It's just now around the giant undulating. I don't know why I've said undulating so much today. I don't know where I picked that up. Why I've said it 5 times. It's
From your mouth and body.
It's in the back of my mind.
Ooh, yeah.
So yes, the laughing, earth that's moving around, where you hear the weird, earth laughter sounds echoing from. That's where this field, that green energy that you see here on the map, that's all grasping roots and clouds of green energy.
Yeah. So I finish my eye roll. So I'm right in that moment thinking about that, and I'm thinking, okay, I have a fancy new cape. Divot's not the only person who can be cool around here, okay? So I get off the horse, because what am I still doing on the horse? And I step forward, and I look around and I see what's going on, and I connect to Shantia, and I cast Spirit Guardians.
Yeah.
And
that's your-
all. No, please go ahead, please.
No, so yes, you step forward, and you're right now, like it or not, your brother's there. He just did something cool. You're his sister. You've got to do something cool. You're like, gosh, I'm really trying to pull this off. So you kind of like strut a little bit as you step off the horse, and you jump down, and you kind of do like, you let your magic energy give you a little bit of a superhero soft puff of air as you softly land on the ground, and you just drop your right arm to the side, and this golden scythe starts sliding down your arm. You see it grow all the way until it's hanging right at the ground. And then rather than wield it like a weapon, you release with your hand, and just like your own puppetry, you take your hand up, kind of shoot a shitty look at your brother, and move this scythe, this shimmering golden scythe, the power source of Shantia, much more pious. You feel kind of like a reverie coming off of this weapon as it floats. Give me a sec here. Go ahead and cast the spell for me.
Let me actually
I'm gonna
cast
get I'm gonna get a token for it. I had one before, but I'm pretty sure I got rid of it.
Yeah. Cast that spell. Cast that spell.
She's casting the spell now.
Cast the spell.
So this scythe won't be glowing in gold, but you'll get it. You'll get it. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little thing on him, because it will get easily lost in the background. So let me just put a little shiny
Put
dot
a
on it.
bang on it.
Bang on it.
All right, so yeah, you summon forth this scythe, and it flies around you within 15 feet for the duration. So you see this scythe float. I'm sorry, it's not a spiritual weapon. You did spiritual guardians. So rather than that, I'm gonna get rid of that. So there is this giant field of energy that grows. You see the one scythe turns into many, and then these little pieces of like corn and wheat start whirling around you in this like harmonious display of harvest. But the sharp cutting blades of grass and these glowing scythes that kind of phase in and out of reality around you as your eyes glow gold and yellow. So yeah, these boys, they hang around.
Yeah, I kind of wanted them to look like the roses that are on my shield and on my helmet and sword. I just kind of wanted to be like, look at what it can be. It doesn't always have to be deadly. It can be like life also. I don't know why I did a Christopher Walken impression. But yeah.
Yes.
Life.
So you draw upon that flowing rage of energy, and as the roses on your dragon skull helmet that Thoric has crafted for you, the roses kind of start blooming, and you see a breeze summon through the power of your magic, and it pulls these sharp rose petals into the swirling maelstrom around you. So too the roses on your shield, they bloom and through magic kind of disconnect and float around in this swirling but gorgeous, deadly but beautiful, powerful and invigorating display of your magic energy. 5, 10, 15. So this thing, it just goes around you in a 15-foot radius as you move about. It lasts for a minute. Any creatures that you want within the range of it. So if you don't want your allies to get tore up by your magic, you can be like,
Exactly,
those ones are safe.
yeah.
Those ones are safe. You like look at Divot for a second, think about not giving it to him.
He's chill.
You let him through. So yeah, you can basically designate your allies to not be hurt by this spell effect. And then anything that ends in there for the first time gets a wisdom save or takes a bunch of damage. So as you move around, this will be an effect that's on you. So is that, I can't, let me, I just want to check one thing, because I can't remember.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That damage is so radiant.
Yeah, awesome, epic, radiant damage. Tina always coming through with those beautiful displays of power. Shantia just lends to a nice image. So yeah, Spirit Guardians, it's an action. So that's your action for that round. You still have a move, and you still have a bonus action where you already cast a spell, so you couldn't do a bonus action spell.
Yeah.
You still have a move, and that would be about it. But you have a 15-foot, so basically in a big giant circle around you is this big wave of energy. So if you walked a little bit to your right, it would put that little guy in it. If you walked a little bit forward, it would put the big guy in it. Do remember that the big guy, if he takes damage, he gets to make a saving throw to get out of Rial's spell. So,
Okay.
you can do it. I mean, he has a lot of hit points, but yeah.
Well then, probably I'm gonna move to the right then to get the little guy.
All right. How far do you want to move?
1, 2. I guess right there. To get, I guess I don't need to be that close.
No, you really don't. You could just get on the other side of Brunor there. Yeah, and then you're still kind of out of range. He would have to come to you.
Hey. Hello.
All right, so little dude gets a wisdom saving throw or takes that 9 damage. Let's give little guy. Hey, little guy. You see as this little creature of earth, it almost looks like it fits so naturally in the display that you're making, but your energy is that of a god of the prime material plane, not the raw energy of the the kind of primal planes of fire. It's not as rough. Yours is a more refined magic in nature. And so as these roses finally start kind of slicing through it, you see it gets a chance to make a little wisdom save.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have this linked to a token, so I just gotta do this. D3 plus, it has a +0. It gets a 6, so it fails, and takes 9 damage. That is almost enough. You see as the roses, kind of cut through it, little chunks and pieces of earth get blasted away. And standing, almost as if it was riding inside of it, is a little thin guy, kind of just made out of vines and grass. Yeah, so it's like he blew his armor off. And there's just this little, grass guy just looking at you. In pretty bad shape, but indeed survived the attack. Now, he will... his speed is halved while he's in that area, so all the bad guys in your area will be slower, which is a cool thing about it. It's a great ability. And yeah, whenever it starts a turn there, or the first time it is there. So yeah, if it starts a turn, it's gonna get another saving throw. It might get destroyed yet. But yeah, for now, it is still alive. You can move more if you want. You probably just want to park there so that
Yeah, I'm probably gonna stay here.
Yeah, so you see the swirling energy. Brunor, you're dead inside this thing. And even you can't be helped but be a little bit gobsmacked by just what a display of just magical energy flowing around you. It's as if there's this bubble, this 30-foot bubble that's been placed over the top of you guys where the sky looks perfectly blue, and you just feel the perfect mountain breeze, and you feel like it's like on a weekend when you're just laid back and feeling the mountain air. It's strange. She, through magic, has just created the most perfect setting that's kind of flying around destructively, yes, but still, magnificently so, as you see the energy kind of flow around you.
I've been meditating and stuff, guys. This is really cool.
I've been doing some yoga.
I'm doing some yoga.
Shanti is just the yoga guy. You do yoga, then you get cleric magic.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Yeah, everybody knows. So, Tinny, you got anything else, or who's up next?
No, that's about it for me.
So there's still the little guy, and there is Brunor.
I'm gonna pass it to my girl Brunor.
Excellent. I am going to, when I see Thoricus turns back and he says, okay, you go that way and I go this way, I give him a nod with a tip of the circlet that he gave me, that really sickly circlet that's got the dragon teeth on it that he just built for me. So tip of that with my shield, which also just got fucking super doped out. It got dopified, as it was explained, with dragon stuff on it, and so I gave him a tip of that. Yeah, just dopified, mister. Dopified, you? Anyway, so Brunor is sitting there just I'm refreshed, I'm renewed, I got to sleep in a river. I haven't been in water in so long, so my blue skin is glistening. I'm moisturized. I'm ready to go. I just saved Brian's life, so I'm just gonna point at the tiny little spirit guy, and I'm gonna Babe Ruth him, and I'm gonna swing my sword at him. Sword Andrel.
Angelo, Blade of the Keeper, green runes emblazoned on the side. You just kind of double up your hands on the bad boy, shift the shield a little and just... And let's just say it's a home run. 9 damage is more than enough. What's it look like, Brunor? What do you do to this little guy?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I give it a good, a Babe Ruthed it, and it just hit him. I knock him out the park because Tina gave him a good first, attack with her spirit guardian. So she set him up, and I just went bang, and I'm just hitting him out to the stars, to the seats, honey, to the moon.
Yeah, you see the little leaf head, the little balled up green vines that kind of make up the head, the little sunken eye slots. You just roll up in full swing, full strength, slash this thing, and a small stone that served as the root of this creature's head. You feel your blade just connect with it. Andrel, it cuts through the air like butter, just super quickly. You feel the little tink of the stone, and the head just flies off in a perfect, over the green monster, perfect home run. You just see it disappear over the horizon of trees. It doesn't even start dropping, so perfect was the strike. It just looked to continue on an upward trajectory until it was beyond the path of the trees before you. I'm gonna go. I hope it does this on the map.
Oh, yes. Bye.
Bum, 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 bum.
Next up, the bad.
Ah, Bruno, that's all about.
Drink a beer.
Oh, that's Slayer.
Hey, small.
Reno.
I just hope this elemental finds this like exceedingly more funny.
It
Like, this one's
absolutely
been shot.
does. You know, you feel the earth at your feet kind of trembling a little bit. Like I said, this beast is no longer just the shapely image of this, two-armed, two-legged beast with the broad shoulders and this massive stone head with the volcano. It's almost melted and is laughing, and there's just this wave of earth kind of moving around in front of you, shaking vibrantly. You feel the ground kind of shaking at your feet. That is Bruno. You got anything else you want to do?
I want to just kind of oh god, okay, I want to ready my shield. I kind of want to just like be ready for something because I have never seen anything like this elemental before, and I don't know what the shitball change is gonna happen, so I am readying my shield and telling my friends I want to yell out, does anyone recognize anything like this? Has anyone seen anything like this before?
Let's see those nature checks.
No.
Uh-oh.
They thwarted. That's really the villain of this campaign so far has been nature checks.
Them nature checks though.
There's an 11. That's a fail. You don't have advantage. I'm sorry. 14. 3. That's a no. Oh, come on. Do it. Oh, damn it.
Yeah!
All right, Divot. You see, everybody else would have failed. Divot, I'm giving you disadvantage. I'm kidding. All right, so yes, Divot, you are pretty familiar. Bards, they're proficient in telling stories about these, other planar magical creatures. And you're no stranger. The primal planes, those are like old school, like kid bards tell those stories when they're learning the first tricks. Oh yeah, fireman and earthman. You're like, I don't really care about those songs anymore. But you do very much. You know what this thing is. You know that this is pure earth elemental energy summoned by magic to the prime-material plane. But you do know that, and you do know that it has, it is remotely sentient to the point that it is laughing about this joke. But yeah, Bruno, anything else on your turn?
Nope, just getting ready with my shield to protect.
All right, you kind of brace yourself. You set your shield forward. The coral, all the new, the design, the coral and dragon bone design that Thork has had.
I want to
Yeah,
mark him. I want to mark him. Oh wait, no, I have to hit him.
You have to hit him
Just kidding,
first.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So nope, I'm gonna. You better believe I'll mark him at some point.
you just like put your shield up and you're like,
You. I'm gonna get you Rockman. You Rockman. I'm gonna get you, Rockman.
all right. So that is, if that's the end of your turn, is that?
Yes, I'm good. They can go now.
Boom. All right, so the only one left in this engagement. You see Brian the Crocodile is actually going to go ahead and kind of step up to your side. You see kind of, the 10-foot long Brian the Crocodile, your mount as a cavalier and friend and ally. He, with very serious eyes and a puffed out chest, he kind of walks up and he looks at you, and then you see him gesture over toward the little girl. He kind of wants to know, do you want him to hang with you? Again, you can, as a Thea elf, you can communicate with him through symbols. You can tell he kind of like snouts at you and snouts at the girl. Do you want him to hang with you and you can ride him, or use him in combat, or do you want him to go protect Esmeralda?
I want him to, for right now, protect him. Protect the unremarkable child.
So you see he kind of gives you a serious nod and puffs up his chest as the noble hero that he is. And you see he, and rather than going around, he just kind of goes right underneath the carriage, in between the wheels, and pops out on the other side, kind of taking a little bit of a bite of the section of face spider that's there. He's protecting her, but he's not going to pass up this sweet, weird new treat that he sees. He takes a bite, and takes a bite of the meat. You see he's looking forward, and just his mouth is wide open as he starts chewing on the spider, intimidating it. You see the creature goes, you hear kind of the rumbling echoes. Like I said, the ground around your feet kind of shaking a little bit. You look forward and you're like, could this possibly be what's happening right now? Like, has this laughter just so overtaken this great magic creature? And indeed, you see the tricks, the arcane trickster Real Authoron, able to pierce the mind even of this pure elemental beast. And it is his turn. Now, them's the grapes on Tasha's. It's the end of his turn that he gets the saving throw. So he attempts. Boom, boom. At the end of his turn, he doesn't get an action here. He's going to attempt another wisdom saving throw. Rocks with a 9. He fails. So yes, the giant mass of earth, as you see the twisting vines and energy, the ground again around you starts shaking even more and more, shaking so much that you hear the cart behind you kind of like rickety and creaking. All of you guys, as the shaking kind of starts to overwhelm you, you look forward as what was this kind of contained 10 by 10 foot mass of earth starts turning into waves of rock that appear to push the earth like water, as if you're looking at a body of water, and these waves of magical earth energy start pushing over you guys, and you see it detonates. The vibration becomes so strong that with a sudden shake of the ground underneath you, this blinding blast of stone and earth shoots by. Each of you, Tina and Brunor, you have your shields at the ready as these great massive rocks push against you so strong. Even with your mighty strength and constitution, you slide back a little bit. You hear the terrified waize and screams of 4 horses ripped to pieces as the shrapnel of this giant bomb explodes. You hear the splintering shatters of the cart as the backside of it blows out. The trees all around you bend at the strength of the explosion. The green dissipating cloud of energy pushes back. You're all pushed away. And that's where we're going to come back after intermission.
No. Why? Why you do this, fam?
You all knew it was coming. They have me pegged, man. I got to say, that's my favorite when they're like, here comes the cliffhanger. And then it's like, yep, there it is. It's right there. Kaboom!
It's so much good shit.
Kaboom.
Kaboom.
You guys did some really awesome. That's actually the fight that you just beat. Is a toughie. All right, so there we go. Sweet. We are going to take us a quick, short rest, recharge, use our hit dice, and get our action surges and everything charged back up. Now we're actually going to issue a challenge here. My man Gus, 2, sometimes 3 blunts, Langley, in celebration of his recent birthday. And obviously, what do you get people like us on our birthday? Lots of weed and blunt wraps. Gus, I issue you this challenge. You have 5 minutes to go to the bathroom, have yourself a drink, grab a beer, okay? The other 5 minutes of intermission, let's see how many blunts you can roll in 5 minutes.
Whoa.
All right? I've got a timer here. If you can run video on it, maybe we'll post it on the socials. But here's our challenge. We'll see you guys here in just a little bit. Definitely hang out. Sandy has some hot new tracks, and we will be showcasing them in intermission, some new fan art, and all the wonderful stuff. Seriously, intermission's amazing. Now, Vlad has done a whole monster series of Ganjaria. Absolutely check it out. We love you guys. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Do not go anywhere. And Gus, the gauntlet has been thrown.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Hashtag.
Oh my god.
What's up, buds? We're gonna be trying out something new. I'm gonna call it Mission Intermission. Let me tell you something. We've been noticing there's a couple other Weed&d groups out here. And you wanna know how I feel about it? I feel great, and I'm happy to introduce them to my friend of circles and allies. So, we thought, hey, what if we create a little challenge here? We're gonna be calling out a couple other groups here. D&D 420, you're in this. D&D with THC, we're calling you out. We say our best guy against your best guy. Our best guy is clearly Gus, 2 blunts Langley. He's gonna roll as many blunts as he can in 5 minutes, all right? We're gonna run the clock, and at 5 minutes, I'll call it. We challenge
check
you.
it out. I'm gonna do you one better, my dude. All right, guys, gang, take 40 seconds off that clock. Make it an even 420.
420, my man. How many blunts can you smoke in 420? Gus, how you doing? Let's get into your head. How's the prep right now? How you feeling?
I'm just gonna tune out and let muscle memory take over.
A true athlete, ladies and gentlemen, does not let the pressure get to him. All right, Gus, I've got my clock ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, I got a dump truck of weed, and I got a tray with some blunts on it, so I'm ready to get cracking.
All right.
You got this.
Here we go, Gus. Gus, 2 blunts Langley. Are you ready? Here we go in 3, 2, 1, go! That's right.
Yes.
Everybody dance now. Wipe me out time. Come on, let's dance. Baby. I'm doing better at that than I thought I would. All right, here we go. Gus, you're rounding, just so you know, you're rounding around the 30-second mark. 30 seconds down, here we go. One?
Ooh.
In 30 seconds, folks.
God.
Damn.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing.
Wow.
Jake, thanks for joining us. I don't know if you caught it. Our man Gus has already gotten his way through 1 blunt in less than a minute, and we're getting close. Let's see. Let's check in.
Damn.
Unbelievable. Here we go. You love to see it.
There he goes. God, a master at craft. Fucking A.
Wow.
2 at 1 minute and 7 seconds. It's an endurance. It's an endurance thing. It's not a sprint. Wow.
God,
Absolutely wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
watching this. Wow.
Wiggity wow.
Hey guys.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Hey, howdy, hey.
Hey, Brenna, welcome
What's up,
back.
gang?
We're doing this intermission thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Gus is just like decimating some sort of record and kicking
It's-
100 million asses and
It's pretty cash.
It's very
Yeah.
impressive at
close
this
to that.
point.
Yeah.
I love it. How's he feeling? How's it going?
I mean, he's
We
coming
have
up here.
any-
That's 3. He's got 153. That's 3 blunts in 1 minute and 53 seconds, folks. I'm sure D&D 420 is shaking in their boots.
Oh my god.
I was trying to learn how to roll blunts, or at least joints during this pandemic, and I feel like I don't have very dexterous fingers, you guys. I think I can't hold a nail and nail things in. I can play video games.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. There's a muscle memory training you can do. Whenever you get a receipt from a store, you're gonna try to roll that receipt as tightly as you can. Start at the top, rolling down toward the bottom. Just try to roll that receipt as tight as you can. If you do that 20, 25 receipts, I'm telling you, the next time you roll a joint, your fingers will know how to do the motion that you need for the hardest part, which is that first roller. 4 blunts, 2 minutes, 43 seconds, folks. It's amazing. It's educational. It's athletic. It's WeeDnD, Tuesdays at 8 on Twitch. Shameless plugs. I got him. D&D with THC. I'm sorry, this is pretty impressive. We are at 3 minutes now, and we have.
Oh, you guys threw down the gauntlet.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
Challenge. Oh, I love our friends over there. Those guys are great.
Yes, shout out. They are
Got it.
fantastic.
Got it.
Oh, what? Is that 5?
Nope, not yet.
No.
Not yet. We're almost there, though. We're
I
almost
jumped
there,
the gun.
though.
5.
I'm not. I got too excited.
I'm just being Pops or what was his name?
It's exciting.
You're an animal.
You're an animal.
Boom.
Five.
5. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, folks. We have not adjusted the tape. Check the time logs. He is not a mere man. He is Gus
Get it.
Two Blunts
Get
Langley.
it. Get it.
Ooh.
It's the
Can he get
eye of
6?
the tiger.
Can he
It's
get
the
6?
thrill
I
of
personally
the
feel like
fight.
he can.
Yeah,
Oop, here
yeah.
we go. We're good. Ooh, it's coming down the wire.
Oh,
Look
Here
at
we go.
him.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You can get.
Wouldn't you
six,
give
six,
to be that blunt wrap right now, gentlemen? All right, we're at 4 minutes. Can he do it? Can he finish it before?
The
fight is the last
Look, he's making them look good too. They're not even bad blunts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, you saw it here. Yes. Gus 6 blunts Langley has achieved 6 gorgeously rolled blunts in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. How do you feel, guys? You all saw this in real time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll smoke to that. Look
Oh,
at this
yeah.
guy.
Oh God, please don't make me smoke more.
Gus, I am proud of you, brother. I was amazed to be here. Honestly, I feel like I will tell other people's grandchildren about it someday. So listen up, D&D 420, D&D with THC. The gauntlet's been thrown, man. Can y'all roll 6 blunts in 4 minutes and 20 seconds? Or is it just people with the magic, like my man Gus, 6 blunts, Langley? Let's find out. Hit us up. We're dropping hashtags. Hashtag beat the bard at blunts. Beat the bard at blunts. Beat the bard at blunts.
Blue.
And out.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow. Welcome back, buds, to Weed&D. That was a pretty awesome intermission there. Had a little short rest. My hit points feel nice and topped off. I feel ready for the second half. So I say we jump right in. When last we left the 5, they had just finished a battle with a giant earth elemental summoned by the strange blue and white skin-robed figure. The giant elemental shot out these spores that grew into small versions of the elemental and gathered all around the 5, but were quickly dispatched through the battle prowess of the 5. As the magics of Real Othervan worked upon this strange earth elemental summoned from the plane of elemental earth, the ground itself started shaking around it, and the earth started moving like waves of water rather than the solid earth that it was. And as these waves of energy grew in intensity, eventually a giant blast of energy sent rock and green magical energy scattering. Divot. Your lungs are full of sawdust and debris. You wave your skeleton hand. It cuts through the air like a knife. You see the swirling cloud of smoke kind of waft in front of you. Your ears are ringing. Almost, like when a bomb has gone off, there's just a light ringing in your ears. You shake your head and stand up. You have to push a piece of lumber from what remains of the cart off your chest. It lands on another big plume of dust. It seems earth has been scattered all around. You cough and a little bit of sand comes out. You kind of stand yourself up in the rubbled remains of the cart. And the first thing you see is this glowing field of yellow energy, still emanating from around Tina Smooth Hands. the whirling nature, the spiritual guardians. You know, the rocks blew right through them. You know, they didn't help to protect what was behind it. And Divot, you see that first as you see this glowing yellow magical energy. You know, it's almost amidst the destruction. It's just so bright and colorful. And you look just past the haze of yellow holy magic, and there are 4 slaughtered horses. You see, it looks as if the earth that was propelled from this great explosion drove these massive rocks through both the horses and your carriage, decimating them both. You know, Divot, you quickly think about the rental agreement that you had made with the gentleman all those, you know, weeks ago in Tilmore. And unfortunately, you won't be able to return this carriage or the horses.
I'm so sorry.
You
happen.
You look forward and you see, you know, Brunor the sea serpent standing with shield forward, Tina as well braced behind her spiderweb and rose-covered shield. You look to your left, you see Rial, you know, dexterous enough, has managed to dodge behind this bush. Thoricus stands, you see another couple split rocks on either side of him. You've seen him cut a rock before. You imagine something similar happen this time. You know, kind of wave the smoke out of in front of your face, and you look to your left, and through the smoke, you just see these glowing 2 blue eyes, the piercing blue eyes of Esmeralda. As she just stands there, you see the whirling smoke cloud around her, kind of, you know, creepy and mysterious against all this stillness after this loud explosion. You're kind of trying to get your bearings about you, but you see this, you know, beautiful golden light. You see your sister look forward as if she sees something. Tina Smooth Hands. You're standing there, encapsulated in the protective holy light of Shantia. You feel the tingle in the trees as this energy source that was drawing from all the nature around it, the magic that was binding it, seems to have dissipated. And that green energy field that you saw summon the roots and this elemental itself has exploded and withered away. You look forward through the cloud and the dust and the debris after the explosion, and you see writhing on the ground where the earth elemental had been. Just like that little tiny one, there is this small green leaf creature. It looks like his body is made out of like multiple leaves wrapped and twisted around each other. And at the center of his mass is this great ball of green energy that just emanates. You see this creature that was within this elemental beast still laughing. The effect of Rial's magic still fixed into his mind as he seems to be laughing through a great deal of pain. He lacks facial features, just incaved grooves where the eyes would be, and some matter of material that seems to make grimaces like a mouth would. But you see this writhing green energy pool laying on the ground, almost in like an indentation from where the explosion laid. It looks powerless. It looks weak. It looks like it's suffering. And Tina, it passes initiative to you. You see it grunting, you know, the strange laughter that you've heard from this earth creature before, but unable to move its body too much. It just shakes and writhers like green feathers on the ground. Oop, Tina, you're muted, baby.
Oh no.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I know a creature in pain when I see one. I'm familiar with livestock. It's time to end the suffering here. So I'm gonna step forward. And now, if I'm correct, if I cast my spiritual weapon, that will lower the spirit guardians around me, correct?
So yeah, because they are both concentration spells, yes, you would lose the spiritual guardians. You know, as you step forward, you see the spiritual guardian field kind of wash over it, and you decide to protect him in this moment, you know, to choose him almost like you did your allies and protect him. Would you like to drop that spell and bring forth your spiritual weapon?
No, I think I could perhaps choose a cantrip.
honestly, I know this is a little bit outside the realm of like, what does this spell do? This is, you realize, let me set the stage for you and you do what you do.
Yeah, please.
So, as you step forward, and the glowing energy, the magical warmth, the perfect day that emanates from you in 15 feet in all directions, as this bubble of life kind of washes over this withered, helpless creature, the green mist, what little green mist remains, you see dissipate and be pushed away by the light. And as you look down on this creature, you're struck with this revelation, perhaps Shantia filling your brain with this knowledge, but you look down on what is a pure creature of nature. Perhaps not nature of the prime material plane, but what more nature than the core nature spirits, the planes of the primal planes. Sorry. And so as your spiritual as your spiritual guardians wash over it, rather than the roses slicing at it like it had before, the breeze and the wind, you see as the soft rose petals flow down almost to a stop. And almost like snow of rose petals, you see these rose petals dropping down. And all of you that are watching this, you're looking at this insanely pious moment. The trees that had been blown back from the explosion almost stand back at attention to witness this fusion of clerical nature magic and this pure elemental spirit. And as the roses start falling down, this beacon of warm light washes over you all, and you can all for a moment feel Tinna's thoughts. The magic that summoned this creature, the magic that detonated the energy, was evil magic casted by the man in the robe. This creature itself is pure. And now that this energy that drove it to destroy or that to attack you is gone, it is nothing more than a pure spirit of earth. And so Tinna, if you would like to, you can allow the roses to take the nature spirit, the ball of energy at the core of this spirit, and offer it to your god, Shantia.
Yes, sleep now.
You kneel down next to her, or next to the just not really her or him, just this writhing green outline of energy. And you all see as Tinna takes her hand, and as she slowly goes to place it on these vibrant green bolts of energy that represent the body of this strange creature, you see she sets her hands down, and instantly roses begin blooming around her hands. You see a warm light as she takes her hand away, and the roses continue to grow toward the heavens. And then you see the roots pull from the ground. And they go up, and they continue onward far beyond the 15 feet of the range of the spell, as you see a benevolent energy in the sky. Gladly accept it. Tinna, your guardians dissipate. The magical energy that surrounds you fades away. You stand looking in front of you at where this divot was in the ground, and there's just one single small sprout that's grown up from the ground. And that's it.
Sprout like the spores before?
Nope, just a natural spore of a plant. Just a little green, no form. You can't even really tell what kind of plant it is yet. But you just see one little small sprouting green sprout sticking up out of the earth there.
I take note of it. I notice its natural beauty and the wonder of the circle of life.
You feel truly in tune with Shantia in this moment, as all the trees around you, remember the breeze had stopped, as you feel the wind start blowing softly once more. You feel the trees shake, almost as if the leaves are celebrating with you in this moment. And a sense of serene calm washes over the pretty gruesome sight that lays before the rest of you. Thoricus, you look down and you hear the sound, and you look, and Brian the crocodile is just like looking around and just gnawing on the hoof of one of the dead horses, just like.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead, Brahman. That's fine. I don't want anything to go to waste, so you know.
All right, so yeah, we are out of the combat encounter's over. So you guys, we're back into kind of narrative mode. So that's what you see. You saw this big epic moment just transpire.
All right, I want to step off the rubble, and I'm like, really? You are all okay with that?
What?
I do it and I'm in trouble, but she doesn't. Look, everybody. If this is how we're gonna roll, I'm down.
What? Absolutely, excuse me? What?
Hold on a second. Are you saying that what you do is the same as what she does?
Do you want to explain yourself, your attitude again?
At least my god asks me to do stuff. You just voluntarily were like, let me ice this thing.
What? Excuse me? What?
I don't want to be here, best friend.
And then I'm like, good fight.
All right. Can we just decide where we're going as a group? I don't want to.
So yeah, you kind of, take stock of the situation. You all kind of look around, at the various states. You see Rial kind of pop out of this bush. Divot, while he's laughing, so immune is he to kind of the macabre that he didn't even realize that his left leg was entirely inside one of the horses. And he's just standing, he's like, oh shoot, you kind of pull your leg out, it's just covered in horse guts.
I want to peek over and check on the unremarkable, boring ass, tired ass, just Alec Baldwin looking eyes, looking ass child.
So you go over, you see Brian, when he notices you walking by, he's like, oh crap, and he stops chewing on the horse's thing and stands at attention like he's been protecting her, heroically, of course, since you asked him to. You walk around, you see Esmerelda is still standing there. Her eyes, you swear as you're walking by that they're glowing brighter blue for a moment, but as you kind of look at her for a second, you see they're back to their Alec Baldwin crystalline blue, but they're not glowing or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, you see, again, she's just standing completely still, unaffected by the intensity of everything that happened. You see there's some dirt and mud on her. You don't know if she got hit by a rock or what. She's just kind of standing there looking around. You see as you walk up, Brunor, she's connected with you. And you see she just kind of walks up and then reaches her hand forward kind of awkwardly to grab onto your fingertips. The only way she really knows how to relate to you.
Gotcha. So, yeah, okay, yep, cool, do that, go,
See her little fingers kind of wrap around yours, and she just armed completely stiff and straightforward, just extremely awkwardly, doesn't really know what she's doing, but it seems to be something that you enjoy. And so she's got her arm out and she's just staring straight ahead at you, not looking over your shoulder at the gruesome, slaughtered horses and broken carriage. You guys see some of your boxes, and, as you guys kind of usually go on the road, you pack your gear and stuff. You see your bedrolls have kind of laid off on the side and stuff. It doesn't look like any of your gear was destroyed, but the carriage is in real bad shape. Now, that doesn't mean, that's not me being like, you don't have a carriage. If you want, you could take the time to, try to fix it. You're not super far away from Emerella. If that was something you wanted to do, you could certainly go that avenue, but that's basically where you're at right now. You see Emerella's just kind of doesn't really have an opinion on the matter, and you guys are all just kind of standing around this. Again, you see kind of the blue and white phase spider guts just kind of hanging on the ground, all over the place, mixed in with this slaughtered earth, and everything has a layer of mud over it from the big earth explosion, the dark magic drawn forth by what you have assumed to be a great druid.
Well, is everybody okay? Do we need to heal up? What's going on? Can we just hoof it? I mean,
Yeah,
and I look at
over
Horseface,
to
sorry.
and I'm gonna heal him.
I don't do that,
How you
guys.
doing?
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
you're okay? You're
Oh.
okay, buddy?
So you guys.
Oh no, I'm hurting pretty bad.
Yeah,
so,
you
yeah,
need
if
to-
I
you
could
need
just
to-
get a little bit of healing.
Honestly,
Yeah,
you guys, you're
yeah.
on the side of a road. You could take a short rest, the little short guy, not a full rest, just a little short rest. Patch up, you could do that. If you want to press on, remember, I'm keeping track of time. So it's a short rest isn't a ton of time, but it is time. You know there's kind of some impending things happening. It's totally up to you guys how you want to play it. You are kind of in like a weird hostile area, so there would, potentially maybe something that interrupts your rest were you to try. But, you're kind of like in thick growth. There's one road, if you get off the road and go into the trees a little bit, there's not really a huge chance of too much wandering upon you.
Is anyone other than the toughest person here hurt?
No, I'm good.
I mean,
Let's just heal him.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was like, we don't need to rest. Like, I'll use a second wind and I'll do what I can to myself, and then whatever's left over, then Tina, if you could try to.
I mean, you can have you could save second winds are helpful in battle because they're a bonus action heal. Granted, you use your bonus action for an attack more often than not now, but yeah, I mean, you guys have lots of healing resources. I think Divot can heal. It's like you feel free to do what you want.
All right.
So yeah, you guys are just kind of standing around. Feel free, whatever we need to. If you're not short resting, just use magic or abilities to.
Yeah, I can.
I was gonna say I do have 2 second winds, so.
I mean, yeah, you can absolutely use
listen.
them whenever you want.
Well, I
Listen
walk
to
over
this
to
one.
Thorcus, and I reach into my pouch and I pull out one of the red vials of healing potions. I have some of those, and I just flip the top off, and I point straight up and do an Eldritch Blast for no reason, and I'm like, whoa! Boom! And smack him on top of the head with this healing potion. So maybe it would hurt a little to break it, but it's gonna heal immediately.
Yes. So a healing potion standard heals 2d4 plus 2. In this case, this healing potion only heals for 2d4 from the cutting, glass breaking as he smashes a healing potion on you in kind of a brotherly, haha, like he's forgetting the word when you do it to a ship with a champagne bottle christening when he breaks it over Thorcus like a ship. So yeah, go ahead and Gus, you want to roll 2d4 for me?
Sure.
You're the instigating healer in that case.
You get an 8.
And again, I roll my eyes like, ugh, I should have just healed him. Ugh.
So yeah, you're like, get out of here. Let me show you how it's done. 3 points of healing for you. So Thorcus, you get 3 health from.
I look at him and I'm like, I just healed the good parts.
He still definitely needs help after 21 damage.
Oh no, I'm at 36 out of 62.
Wow.
Well,
Oh no.
I did just heal 3, so I'm at 39 out of 62.
Oh, so you have more health than me.
I had more health than you now than when I was born.
Wait, you still need help, buddy? Is that what you said?
A lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Life cleric, what's up? Don't forget you do extra healing with your spells. They heal more.
What do I roll for that?
That's just a flat amount. I believe it's the level of the spell plus your wisdom modifier. Let me just jump into your character. That's the easiest way for me to do this. And now, Brenna will hum you a song. I don't have Tina's token.
Yeah, I need 23 points.
It's okay, we're doing all the things. It's okay that we're doing all the stuff. Jumping into care of your things.
All right, so channel your disciple of life. At first level, your healing spells are more effective. Whether you use a spell of first level or higher, the creature regains additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So, if you used a level 1 cure wounds, that would be 6 plus 3 more.
Okay.
So that's 9 more health for you. And also, when you heal other people, Tina, you get healed now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about. Yes. Woo!
Oh,
I love that for you.
Shantia.
I think you're full though, right? You didn't take any damage?
Oh no, I have a little bit of damage from that.
Fucking
Well,
speed
the
ray.
Speed ray.
Yeah,
The
speed ray.
Speed ray
Yeah.
got her.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
30
this
instead of
for
36.
you.
Yeah.
Heal yourself, Queen.
Awesome.
You have
All right,
to
so
heal
Thorcus, you get
yourself.
that 9 sweet points of healing.
12 total. So that puts me up to 48. I feel a lot better about 48 out of 62.
Yeah.
Get it,
As long
girl.
as-
You want to chill at 48? Were you gonna bust one of those second wins, or you
No,
good
don't do it. Don't do it, best friend. Don't.
there? He like starts to do it. You like plug his nose. No.
No, I wanted to give you a potion as well. Does it work better if I don't smash it in your face, or?
It does.
Sounds like it does.
It does. It actually, science has shown that yes, it does.
I'm not a potion scientist, but I think smashing it into my face.
I'm gonna go
kinda-
out on a limb.
I'll save you some of that damage. Like I've got a potion for you. I just want to like crush it in my own hands and like.
And cause
Help
damage
your-
to yourself.
Yeah, that's.
Couldn't you just
No.
like pop the top off of it and drink it?
Just
Do we have to?
like give me a speed sparkler for it.
You're back.
Be
Jared.
like, oh, pop, oh, and like just.
Can't you just drink it? Why are we smashing it on anything?
So yeah, did you want to do like the? Were you doing like the renegade? What was that? Was that renegade? The Arnie with the handshake moment with the guns.
Predator.
Yeah.
Predator, yeah.
Predator. Thank you.
Fucking
The Predator
Predator.
moment.
Carl Winston.
Dylan.
All right, go ahead. Again, Rial, you're instigating the healing, so go ahead and roll me 2d4. Plus, you get the +2 because you're not cutting your friend with glass.
Thank you. That's funny. I love what you did, but yeah. I mean, once was good.
So yeah, 8 more. There you go. Nice. You guys do the sweet,
yeah.
predator handshake, and you feel that again. Like I said, my healing potions are more like magical healing light than a potion that you drink. And so yeah, you the warm light of the red liquid when mixed in the potion kind of washes over you, Thorcus, and you see some of the scratches from the cuts from the many rocks that have blown past you just kind of seal up through the magical healing energy. But yeah, everybody like comes in and heals the crap out of Thorcus Onyxheart.
Thanks, guys.
Hope you feel a little bit better, buddy.
Yeah.
buddy.
I feel all warm and fuzzy.
So I walk the little girl up onto Brian's back, and then I guess we just start hoofing it this away, like up away.
Continuing onward, yes. All right. Let me bring you guys over here. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong place. There we go. All right, yeah, so you guys just kind of gather up. Yeah, you see Esmerelda at this point kind of gets the drill. She, Brian, again, noble, kind of takes a small bow for her so that she can step up, again, completely expressionless. She just kind of walks up on top of him, turns around, sits down, and you see her little, hand, almost the exact same kind of claw crab way she grabs your fingers. She just kind of grabs the, one of the little dragon wings that Brian's still wearing, even though they're all still kind of tattered and stuff from the catch the dragon so long ago. And yeah, you guys kind of set up on the road. You're kind of looking around to see if maybe that big giant eagle is flying or anything. You look up in the sky. It's still the same sky that you've just kind of at this point dread looking at. The sun still frozen in place ever since that crazy afternoon that you guys had with the great druid Achaeus when he grew to the size of mountains and froze the sun in place. In partial effect due to some mushrooms that somebody may have added to a beverage that he drank. And a really crazy roll on the wild magic chart. All right, so here we go. This is how we're doing it. All right, so you guys hook arms around each other's elbows and you begin to skip forward 2 steps, and then you dip backwards 1 step, and then you jump and your little feet go like, we're off to see the Dryads. And you guys all, you see Brian, just like Toto, just kind of following around next to you guys with a little girl who's now wearing Dorothy's dress, even creepily, just with no expression. She's just strange riding this crocodile down the road with
Excellent.
her unremarkable features.
Yes.
All right.
If I only had a son.
Rial has not seen that movie because he's locked up.
It's true. I missed it.
All right,
Very
so
confused.
due to the loss of your cart, the distance, it's going to take you guys a little bit longer to get. Remember, the Kumal, the child's father, told you that you would come to a crossroads. And so when you reach that crossroad, you go to the left, he said, and that would lead you to where you needed to go. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is you're not in the safety of your cart anymore, and you are kind of wandering through what's becoming strangely wild area. So on this journey here, go ahead and give me an encounter check. Somebody roll me 1d20, please.
I just wanted to say, you said our stuff wasn't destroyed.
Yes.
So we did gather all our belongings.
Absolutely.
Before we moved on. I just want to make sure, because there's something that I have in my stuff that I want to make sure is there. So. Yeah.
It's that dragon's penis, isn't it? Don't you
All
lie
right,
to me.
fake book.
Don't you lie to me. You've been hiding it the whole time. That was a fake? You had me fake shoot a fake dragon penis into the water.
He ditched the fakey.
I can't believe you would do this to me, Thorcus. Anyway.
I'm sad.
You can't hide it from me. I know everything.
You just felt like you couldn't trust us. That's
Oh my
the most
God, I
painful
trust you
part.
guys implicitly. Like.
But no, like I said, the carriage is pretty effed. Your bedroll might have a tear in it or something, but overall, you guys just kind of managed to pull all the stuff. That's it. Brunor retires. I couldn't do it. So yeah, you guys are able to gather your things. Anything in particular after kind of healing yourselves before setting off on your journey that you guys would want to do?
Oh, I didn't heal myself. I got by with a little help from my friends.
Yeah, your friends healed you.
Wink. Fun. Wink. You're like great.
Friendship.
All right.
Are Brynor and the little girl able to ride Brian at the same time?
I would say so.
Because Brunor is she's a cavalier. She could totally do that. Brian would probably there would be some speed issues, that kind of weight on him might throw it off just a little bit more. Right? Probably 5 feet less of movement or whatever. But yeah, she could do it. There would be the risk of if somebody were to strike at the child, they could totally do that. But yes, you could you could grab the reins and kind of hold the girl's holding onto the wings. So if you wanted to do that.
Theoretically, if she wasn't riding Brian, anything that would come about would still have that opportunity to attack the child.
True that.
In theory.
Would it impair my stealth if I kind of kept her on my person like a little piggyback? If I could like dart off? I mean, if it's a hit.
if you were like actively trying to stealth with her on your back, I would say you would have disadvantage on your stealth checks. You know what I mean? Like there's just a little extra. Now, she is extremely quiet, but it would just be more like the idea of like moving with another person on you. You're trying to step softly. It just kind of throws you off. Not impossible, just with disadvantage.
Right. Just
but
touch
yeah,
and base.
so you guys do.
Do we have a bag of holding?
That's where you need an artificer.
Toss her in there.
No, it's fine. You'll be fine.
Oh my gosh.
You need to go.
Get in the bag.
Looking at you with her big old boring ass Alec Baldwin eyes.
Right, it's like, I'll be able to find you. When I open the bag and I see those eyes, I'm feeling, fuck.
Baldwin eyes are watching me.
Every move, yeah, Alec Baldwin eyes are watching me. Watching me. No. Okay.
All right. So sorry.
I felt that.
It's fine. You just give us a moment. We'll fill it. You give us a moment, baby. We'll fill that moment. Baby, we're gonna fill that moment.
You got me. I might have known. All right, yeah, moving tokens around through maps can be a little tricky. All right, so you guys, boom. Can somebody roll me a d20? Or did somebody already do that?
Tina did it.
I did.
Tina,
yeah.
you got
12.
a 12. Okay, let me check.
11, 92, 12.
Well, that kid.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I just need to do one thing real quick.
I hate it.
Uh-oh. I don't like it when you laugh.
The more
Wait,
time you take.
I mean, like, it's nice when you laugh in general. Yeah, you should laugh.
Yeah,
but-
you're right. You're right at
Wow.
you. You should laugh. We love you. Also, damn it, he's laughing.
I know. Oh.
All right. Okay, so you guys, you continue onward down the roads, the winding roads of the Malachite Mountains. Again, this road, as you've been walking on it, it doesn't seem like it's been maintained very well, or that there's been a lot of traffic. But you find as you're kind of starting to wind through the many curves and bends of the forest, still noticing the autumn and winter trees strangely standing out of place. More and more you notice as you move forward. So too does the road become a little more worn as you're reaching kind of an area that more people have traveled, based on what you see. The stone of the road is almost completely gone as you've gotten up to the more wild areas that lead up to the trails that lead up the mountain. And you're kind of coming up. You come around to this great bend, and then let me drop you here. At this time, Brandon takes the little token and brings the players up. And now you see, they see. I know it's a little weird because you left out of the top of the map and you're coming back from the top, but that's how twisted these roads are. All right, so you're coming up and you actually see, you're kind of like, all of you are kind of eagerly awaiting this clearing. Every crack or sound or rustle in the bushes, you're sharp to look around. Too many ambushes, too many strange things have been happening. You see a normal eagle fly by, and for half a second you're like, should we just kill that eagle just to be safe?
Normal eagle.
Bitch pigeon. Fucking bitch pigeon.
Pitch feathers.
You lucky. You put the arrow back. Yeah, you see Esmeralda's still riding Brian. I know it won't be necessarily clear on these tokens, but yeah, you're coming down. Finally, you come around this bend, and as the road kind of arcs upward, you can feel the air getting a little bit thinner as the roads have kind of led you up to a higher elevation. Nothing too crazy, but you can tell it's a little heavier, a little harder to breathe now that you're having to walk rather than ride in your carriage. And you see come up in front of you a fork, a couple bushes kind of set up around this area. You see rock faces on either side kind of going up, leaving a clearing up to about 10 feet where you see a lot of other trees and nature. And you look down, and probably about 80 feet in front of you or so, you see standing near the fork in the road, there's this little green goblin. And he's got like a bright green vest and puffy green, like MC Hammer pants, like really big puffy pants, and bright like neon green shoes. And he has this big twisted neon green hat. He's like, even against a green backdrop, his outfit is so loud that you can see him instantly. And you see him kind of like hopping back and forth.
To the green.
So yeah, you guys are at this point, you guys are free to do whatever you would like. You're about 80 feet away from him. You see him dancing in this you're right kind of near these bushes in the middle of this fork here.
What is he even dancing about? I love him.
Yeah, what's his deal?
I don't know, but I think we should destroy him.
No, let's go check him out.
Why?
Let's go check him out first.
Let's ask him a question. Maybe he has.
Yeah, I can talk to him.
He seems like quite a jaunty fellow. We should talk to him for a few moments.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
That makes sense.
I don't have to speak Goblin to send him a mental message, right?
No, that's one of the cool things about your telepathy. As long as they speak a language, you can communicate with their mind.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, so I walk up just a little bit, maybe to like here, and I'm in front of my group, and I look at him, and I just kind of I think I'm like green on green, little man. What is up?
You see him kind of like looking up. He's not really used to the magic of a voice in his mind. He's looking around. You see his like bright green suit shifting. And even as he shifts, he kind of like points a toe on one side and grabs his chin and looks another. Like he's doing these little poses each time he moves.
Oh, he fancy.
But he's looking up in the sky. You see he seems to be a little bit confused by what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and give him an intelligence check. Let's see if he can figure out what's going on. -1 to this. 18. Actually, yeah. So you see he all of a sudden stops. And then he looks forward at you, strikes a pose. You see he pulls out a little cigar.
Oh my god.
And lights it.
Oh my god, he lights
Smoke like you do, Divot.
I do the exact same thing he does, like mirror him mime style from across the way. Like,
right.
whoop, whoop.
All right, David, give me a performance check.
Literally,
So you're doing anybody who's we
believe what
have a lot of actors in the cast here. One thing we have to do are these sometimes painful acting exercises where you have to mirror another person to like work on reacting. So let's see how well you can pull this off, Divot. Performance you're pretty good at. Ooh, a 10. Man, you rolled pretty low. Let's see his. All right, so yeah, you notice that you're just a little bit off from him, but you're matching him perfectly. He jumps up and sticks a toe out and pops a cigar in his mouth. You pop up and do the same, and you guys are kind of like impressed at like the physical ability to perform that Divot is expressing. For a moment you'd be like, oh wait, is he a goblin all of a sudden? He's so good. He starts hopping, and so. Divot, you noticed
Yeah,
that
at first I was really skeptical because I thought he was gonna melt this goblin's mind or something. But then I saw that this goblin is
So
actually.
did I.
This goblin seems to really be leaning in and having fun, and so I don't know. My nerves are momentarily eased.
It's nice to see that fun side of Divot again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Divot, you see now that you've started mirroring what he's doing, you see him kind of trying to get more creative. You see him trying to challenge you. Not challenges in like a dance battle, but he's trying to see how far you can go. How far can you imagine? And you see him all of a sudden he starts moving, and you think he's going to make a shape that he's done before, and then he jumps and does the splits. And then he just sits with his arms crossed, cigar sticking out of his mouth, little plume of smoke sitting up in front of him. And he's staring at you with this big goblin smile. He's got a big sharp green nose and these sharp white teeth and these glowing yellow eyes that are just staring at you as he stands in the splits. This is going to be a competing performance check here, Divot. So this is your next move. Boom.
Bro, it seems like a dance battle.
Yeah. All right. You got to beat a 10. That's his. He got a 10 on his performance check. So, Divot, what do you do?
Okay.
Divot.
So often when you play that game, the person who's leading changes back and forth, right?
Yeah.
So I get down into the split, and admittedly, like, I'm not as good at it as he is. But he also realizes it's my turn, and I have taken the reins.
His eyes glow, eager with the challenge.
Right? So then I want to do, and it's been a while, but I tried this move that I haven't done in a long time, where I just like push off the ground from the split and do like a backflip while I like yodel, right? And then land like with a hand up in the air. And I'm gonna make it press to digitate like a little like blah 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 like when I do it.
All right.
Classic.
Give me your performance here, Gus. You see Divot, as described, he sets into the splits, doesn't perform it as clean, can't quite hop into it like the little guy did. Nice, with a 20 on his performance. But Divot, you propel yourself, jump up, you yodel. You actually use the strength of your own voice to push you even faster in the air. You do like 3 spins, like a nice 720 or 12, whichever. And you, boom, land on your feet. Psh, these little fireworks go off around you.
Inward singing.
You see the shining yellow eyes of the goblin. He takes a big draw on his cigar, and he's gonna attempt it. All right, his DC for his performance is 20. He gets a +5 to this. Wow. Here we go. 12. So he fails. All right, so Divot, you see he smokes the cigar, jumps, yodel, 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 starts yodeling, even spinning himself the same way that you had, and then you see him throw the cigar down, and it blows up in his face. And he falls, landing on the ground. His little green nose is colored black from the ash. You see his hair's kind of puffed up. He stands up. His eyes are weird, his hair kind of sticking up from the explosion. He looks at you.
I clap as if to graciously act like him doing that was actually taking it to the next level rather than him failing. I am impressed at his ability to blow himself up for the act, for I would not do that.
Fantastic. So yes, you see him, almost again like like a Charlie Chaplin-esque control of his body as he spills to one side and spills to the other, overplaying just how dizzy and tipsy he is. The simmering hair, you see he kind of blows out one last puff of smoke as if he's a clown, and you see him kind of look at you and share that understanding as you start clapping for him. And you see he stands up. He's only about 2.5 feet tall, chest high. He grabs the simmered hat, the non-burnt parts that remain, and bows. A big grand bow in front of you, whips his hat up, sets it on, winks at you, and then goes, go! And you hear about 25 voices from the trees all around you going away.
Fuck.
And then you see stands up straight and kind of stops with the dizziness routine, and he tips his hat to you, turns around, and then like he's falling off a cliff, he falls into a bush and disappears.
What? That was excellent. That was.
I missed him.
Gnarly. I can't believe it.
I thought we were gonna slay everyone.
We didn't even
Now we
have
have goblin
to.
army,
We didn't
dude.
have to. Perhaps
Talk
we
about
made
your
a new
whole
friend.
time
Hey.
backfires.
Maybe
Yeah,
we made a new friend.
that's
Did you get his name when you invaded
you hear
his
from the
mind?
bush, Boxo!
Boxo?
So.
Foxo.
Is that
Yeah.
BOXO?
That was your first encounter with Boxo, the goblin.
Oh no.
Everybody
Well, he
loves
said first
Boxer
down. So I'm glad
Goblin.
that I didn't destroy him.
We're just like, wait, so we didn't kill him, did we? Like, he's gone now, so maybe I killed him. Maybe that's what happened.
I lean over to Thorcus and I'm like, sorry.
Yeah. It's
We can get. We'll kill some stuff later. You'll love it. You're gonna love it.
Hell yeah.
All right, so you guys kind of see, you're standing where you are on the map. Actually, you see the fork in the road where disappeared, or Boxo disappeared into the bush.
Boxo the Babo.
Boxo the Babo. Yeah, you weren't supposed to know that.
Babo
Dang it!
Babo?
I can't
Babo the
you know
Gabo.
too much. And the road does indeed fork to the left in front of you. You see it goes underneath a bridge and continues on in a much more narrow kind of canyon path as it kind of jets up toward a little higher in elevation up the side of the Malachite Mountains.
Well, here it is. The fork.
You see Esmerelda stand up, and she just starts kind of walking at a very slow pace, just walking forward,
painfully normal pace. Yeah.
painfully normal. And Unexpressionless obviously doesn't say anything, just starts walking forward.
I
Okay.
want to ask why, but I just don't care enough.
Cool. Well, yep. Just following. I guess we'll just follow here.
So I guess she's doing that now.
Just
We should have brought that girl with us.
she's right there.
Oh, brilliant.
I kind of motion to Brian to follow us, and we just kind of keep following to the left, right?
Yeah.
Damn you
to the
guys.
left.
He got me right in the middle of a hit. You son of a bitch.
What?
All right. I'm allowed to cough. I have weaknesses too. I'm human.
Bam's human too.
Yeah. All right. So you see the girl. Like I said, she takes she begins walking down the path to the left. Again, she's not. Her pace isn't growing at all. She just seems like almost as if meandering. She kind of looks around, but she's clearly got a destination in mind. She's continuing onward.
Like a pace picante, Drew.
New York City.
Pecante.
Pecante.
Is she running into any trouble? How's she doing?
You see no issue. You continue on down this, like I said, the mountain path, the rocks, you can kind of see them on the map here a little bit, but as you kind of start going through, it starts as kind of just a jetting path into a hill, but the hillsides start getting a little higher and higher, and it feels like the path that you're walking is kind of carving its own route around the side of the Malachite Mountains. You notice that the road continues on in front of you to a clearing. Let me.
Are you gonna bring Brian?
Yes, I will.
All right.
Oh, you have control over Brian?
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm not. I thought Brandon was control.
I just can't.
All right. So you see as this pathway opens up in front of you,
Oh, beautiful.
you hear the sound of a flowing river. And as you walk through and the hills kind of bleed back down into this open plain area that opens out on the other side of the mountains, you see several kerns and white birds flying, jetting in the distance, beckoning, mentioning some, water aqueducts are what create these kind of formations. And so you imagine there's a lot of moisture in this area, perhaps where the floods from the mountain drain out into this area. And you see as the trees start shifting almost from like the thick deciduous trees of a forest, they start growing a little longer and the wood soaked a little wetter as you kind of start getting into a more of a jungle-ish atmosphere. There's no longer a paved road in front of you, just the green, wet grass that's still moist from, recent water that had fleshed over this area in a great plain. You see the flying of birds, and you see the little girl starts stepping forward. You kind of clear this corner path, and there it is, standing in front of you. You hear the flowing water of this river that splits around this small island area covered in green grass and tall reeds. And planted in the center of it, strikingly standing completely out, against the green, lush backdrop behind it, is this bright pink and white cherry blossom tree. And as you're looking at it, you're all standing behind Esmerelda, and suddenly in front of her, you see the ground starts glowing with this blue energy. You see she raises her hands up. You see the pink and white leaves of the trees start shaking, and these soft, round peach blossom leaves just start falling off the tree and spinning around in this giant circular pattern. You see she holds her hand up in front of her. You see her head tilt back and look as this great beam of light grows from behind her, the kerns far off to the distance. You see the looming dark trees of what the locals call the Dryad's Kolt. You see she's standing there, her hand out, and her hand just seems to be floating in the air as the leaves of this cherry blossom tree just whirl around. You see the white birds floating in the background, the beam of energy shooting up from behind where the Dryad's Kolt beckons you all. But that's all that happens. What do you do?
Well, buds, I don't know for sure. I'm not a dendrophiliac. Maybe a peach blossom or a cherry blossom tree.
Dare I ask for a nature check on that?
Oh no, not a nature check.
Our oldest foe.
I watched a lot of Blossom. I would like to do a history check.
History check. Whoa.
The fall of the Ferocious Five. The history check.
So, is it like that? It's across the way, like it's across the water. She needs to get across the water to this weird little island.
Yes, yeah. So you guys, this is kind of like you're looking forward at it. I know it's not quite the same top-down versions of maps we've been doing, but I wanted to kind of like what you guys see in front of you. So you see this kind of clearing grass area. And the the river, softly moving water, not a rushing river by any means, just a gentle kind of flowing mass of a ton of water. This is just like a wetlands area, kind of.
So I'll help her across.
Can I get this in a print, please?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
All right.
Yeah, this is nice.
Let me.
I like this.
I'm relaxed.
I like it.
Yeah, that pink,
Good.
the
Good.
What
color.
is that?
All right. So as you step forward, you see her feet, her little, little pale girl feet, just step in the water, and you see little echoing ripples. And you guys kind of look around, and you see as the ripples in the water continue bouncing off each other. You hear this sound, and you all look up, and you see in the distance this beam of blue energy shooting down into the area known as the Dryad's Kolt. You see, it seems to be materializing from nowhere. There's no spot that it, sources from in the sky. But this great beam of energy is washing down, crackling this energy as this little girl approaches the cherry tree. You see the petals floating around the tree that were spinning, in a cyclone. As she walks across the water and the ripples, bounce around her, you start hearing little tinging sounds. Ting, 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 ting. Ting, 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 ting. And you start hearing this song, this strange, melodic, almost music box sound. And you see as the sky that stands between you and the tree and this great field of energy starts rippling. And just like when you stood before the Shadowfell, you see this bubble of glowing energy growing from the Kolt, and soon washes over you all. You're looking up at the sky, and it's purple and pink. And you look down at your feet, and all the grass has turned into a blue and yellow, strange mush of color. The water that runs by you, green and purple. You swear for a moment, in the far distance, you see a unicorn splashing through the water. You shake your eyes, you just see the crystalline purple waters. You feel a dizziness inside your head. Everybody, make me a charisma saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And then we'll be doing nature checks, everybody. I know how much we love them.
Oh.
Wow.
Brenna, with the
Wow.
double one!
I don't think I've ever seen Snake Eyes on a 20-sided before.
Snake eyes! Oh, all right.
I'm afraid to roll now.
I rolled a 2. That's crazy.
Okay.
Thank God for that +7.
All right.
Well, there is that.
Thoricus, you're kind of standing there. You look down at your feet and you see this running purple water running over your boots. You're looking around and you have that same feeling in your body that you had when you were standing in the Shadowfell. The air doesn't feel right. Your mind feels a tickle. And suddenly you look over to your right, the song playing, seemingly summoned from the ripples of the water all around you. And you look as Divot turns his face to you, and you see it twist into this insane smile. You kind of step back for a moment and you bump into Brunor, and you turn around. Brunor's face, too, twisted by this magic in a twist, sinister, intense smile. She starts laughing. Her body starts shaking. As Divot, so too, is consumed by this madness. You bump and turn to your left. You see Rial is sitting there tickling his hand with an with an invisible ghost hand, laughing as water runs and bleeds down his face. He's laughing so hard he can barely breathe. You step back once more and you see the purple water splash away as you turn your back, and you see Tina Smoothhands using the mouth of the dragon skull helmet to pretend to be talking, and she's like, wah, 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 wah. They all start dancing to the tunes and drifting around. Thorcus, you feel like the earth around you is shifting, but you're able to push through your force of will, your successful charisma save. You push this madness out of your mind. Suddenly, you hear glass break. And the 4 members of the 5 that are insane turn and draw their weapons. With insane hatred, they stare upon the face of their friend and ally. Thoricus, prepare yourself for battle with 4 of the 5.
No.
And that's where we're going to pick up next week, guys.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
No. No.
Fucking with me.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I didn't do anything.
I'm mad.
You a cop?
My
Am I a cop?
dog's
Are you a
away.
cop?
What not?
I'm not a cop. All right, are
what
you
you
a
are?
cop?
He's a cap.
Yeah, he's a cap. He's a cap. Yeah, I knew he was a cap.
Fucking
I
cap.
knew it.
Fucking working narcotics. I told you that.
I told you.
God damn.
Oh,
Fuck.
big oof, big oof.
Man, even I am excited for what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You're excited? You should feel how soft my penis is right now.
We're
We
gonna.
shouldn't have healed you.
Extra soft.
No, we shouldn't have.
It's special.
We're
Whew,
friends.
sorry, that was,
We're friends.
you know me. I like my big
It's
magic
been
moments.
so long since we've been in a, team kill other team member situation. So
Yeah.
I'm
It's
glad
been a
it's
while.
not just one of us versus another one of us. I'm glad it's all 4 of you versus me.
Yes, in real life, I'm actually going to send them to your house to assault you throughout the week, and then we'll see how Thoricus fares based on.
4 fingers
Hashtag
versus
beat
the
up
thumb.
Drew.
Ooh, all right. So
Fuck.
things are crazy. You're in one of those crazy places that you like to get yourselves into. Sorry, guys. All right, let's freaking do this. My mind is still blown. I love them. I love this team. I love playing D&D with these guys. I love playing D&D with you lovely people. Thank you so much to everybody for supporting the show, hanging out with us. Hopefully you're loving what we're doing. If you do, help us get the word out. So we're going to close things off the way we open them up. We got a little ritual around here. Maybe you've heard about it. Maybe you haven't. But we like to take a lighter, like this one that I just dropped, trying to do a cool thing with my fingers, but I failed my dexterity check. But now I can do it. Now I can do it. And then you hold that in the air, and we're gonna go lighters up. Oh, it's beautiful. Thanks for playing D&D with us, guys. We love you.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, oh yeah. The double one.
Oh,
I'm looking
yeah.
at this double
Oh my
one.
god.
God damn.
Well, I mean, just fuck it, I guess.
Get him out of the way, right? Get him out of the way.
Yeah.
So what? You can't touch me. 'Cause I'm from the internet.